Good evening, everyone. Welcome to closing comments here for March 9th. Let's jump right into our charts and see we kicked off the new week. First up today, we got our April live cattle on the board. Did open up the week with another big gap down here in this cattle market. This April live contract opening up down there near 228. Seeing a little bit of back and forth action early as this volatility continues to increase in this cattle market. However, we did see a nice little rally here into the close today. Price finishing back up there above 230. Similar action to how we traded last Monday following that gap down. However, just a little bit more weakness here late today. Looking like those bears were reloading up here around the 230 area and should look to take another leg lower as we move into tomorrow's session. We do have about a $2.50 gap here still overhead, so expect to see plenty of resistance all the way up to that 233.67 pivot line for the week. Expect to see these sellers remain in control here, keep their foot on the gas, and try and keep driving this cattle market lower. April live cattle should try and make a pass back down here towards the opening price here for the week. And if we get continued offers down here below 227.32, which was today's low, we should see this live cattle market start to open up and step down here to about 222. And then we could see this downtrend really kind of kick into gear. So continue to be defensive here, and we should see more downside continue here in this cattle market. Next up are April feeders, seeing similar action today. We did see another big gap down here as this market opened up right around 343 today. Couple tests of the limit down move briefly, but we did see those bulls kind of push this market back off of those lows here towards the end of the day. Kind of getting a B-shaped profile here. A lot of volume coming in late, as well as back down here around those limit moves. This limit down move right around 342.37. More weakness here in this cattle market, or in this feeder market, similar to how that April live contract acted. A little bit of weakness here late. We should see these early offers tomorrow drive this thing back down here towards 342 to 343. More offers down here below 340. Today's low at 342.37 should keep the selling pressure on, and we should see this feeder market start to unwind a little bit more and come back down here into the 330s. So look for the downside to continue here. Remain defensive as this cattle market will continue to see some volatile action, and we could see the selling pressure continue to increase in the days to come. So be defensive and get out of the way here if you haven't already. This cattle market should keep on moving lower. Next up are the May corn futures. Overnight, we did see a gap open with price rallying up here and opening up right around 464. Nice strong push in the overnight session all the way up to 475. However, that overnight action was quickly rejected, coming back down here into the morning session. Brief rally attempt off of that opening range today. Price getting a nice push up here above 465 briefly. However, these range highs continuing to hold and seeing a nice push all the way back down here towards the midpoint of this range. And then so far here in the evening session, a gap down and retesting 445 from above as well. So quick visit to both ends of these ranges over the last 4 days. We've seen them tested multiple times. That probe of that top side of this range did just show a little bit of a short covering rally, kind of boosting this thing up to 475. However, then being unable to keep this market held up there above those range highs, just confirming that this market is going to be pretty comfortable here right around $4.50. So far, good rejection of the range lows once again. Look for this 20-cent range to keep price capped until we can get a close beyond either side here. Similar action in the crude oil market. Last night we got a big gap open once again off the Sunday night futures open, rallying all the way up there, just falling short of 120. Big day, nearly up 25% last night in the after-hours session. We did see the day session come in and drive this market lower, seeing this thing just kind of bleed here throughout the day session and seeing a nice slam back down here into the 80s late today. Big volatile mess of a chart here at the moment. This market's just going to continue to be a victim of some volatility, be at the mercy of the news. Looking like this is probably about the climax top action we're looking for. Not needing to get involved here, trying to get in the way of this thing. This market is just kind of getting overdone here in the madness part of this move. And so look for just continued volatility here while this market digests this recent action, and just kind of stay out of the way here while this market kind of cleans up these charts and kind of comes back down to earth and restores order. So in the meantime, crude oil continues to be a mess. look to avoid that one while we got it like this. At the moment here in the S&P and the indexes, we did see a big recovery here as well. Lots of volatility across all these markets here. We did see that nasty gap lower from the Sunday night open last night in these indexes, seeing a nice drive all the way down, briefly undercutting 6,600 here in the S&P futures. Nasdaq and the Dow also testing new lows. Lots of red overnight, but a big rally here into the day session. Brief breakdown off that opening range. However, the bulls were able to support it early and had a nice strong push here late. And a Trump tweet talking about the war being over is definitely a nice little boost there late in the day. Seeing a nice strong rally here of about 80 to 90 points late off of a Trump tweet. Always good for that. At the moment, charts are still a mess here, and we aren't necessarily out of the woods just given Trump tweet. Nice little rally here, but at the moment, we still need to see these charts get cleaned up. A lot more structured action from those mega cap names, more participation, and better recovery here from a lot of these names that have been beat down over the last couple of weeks. So, still got a mess to clean up. These range lows still trying to hold on the Nasdaq. So at that point, we still see potential to rally back here to top into this range. The S&P is losing a little bit of ground here as the Dow has been weighing heavy following this breakdown of the yearly opening range. But at the moment, seeing this thing might be a little bit oversold, and we could see just a little bit of a bounce here based off of that news late today and just some of these oversold levels and these range lows. So wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit continuation to the upside here, but not expecting to see this thing just really break on through these all-time highs. Going to need to see a little bit cleaner action in those mega cap names before we can get comfortable and settle into a power trend. So in the meantime, we'll be waiting for a follow through day to correct this thing, and we could see more upside come from that. So in the meantime, be patient and continue to be defensive here while this market is experiencing such volatility, and we should see smoother seas, smoother sailing come in sometime here down the road. But in the meantime, sit back and let this thing kind of get cleaned up before we start taking action and putting too much money to work. So that's all we got for tonight. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.